Hello, I am making a complaint video about the Windows Photo Viewer program in Windows 7. And my complaint goes as follows. Often, many times when I'm taking photos, I will take many photos of the same thing. Usually, in the folder that you're looking at these photos in, of course you can make the icons really big, okay? But sometimes I will have to actually open up the photos themselves individually and scroll through them to pick the individual photos that I'm interested in. Because apparently sometimes just looking at the icons, it's not good enough. I can't see the detail well enough. I can't see the detail well enough. And I just basically need to enlarge it to get a better look of what's going on before I know if I want that photo or not. So usually when I take photos, I'll be taking a bunch of photos of the same thing. Let's say I'm taking a portrait picture of a person and I take 10 pictures of that person. I can't just look at the icons. I have to actually click open each photo and manually flip back and forth and say, okay, I like that one, or no, I don't like that one, or yeah, that one's it. Okay, that's how I select my photos. I have to look at them. Now, here's the problem. Notice how this is the photo that's selected right here. Okay, this is the photo that's selected. Okay, so let's double click on it. Okay, now we can see an enlarged image of it. Now if we use the arrow keys, we can look at the other photos. Okay? But watch what happens. Watch what happens when I close this window. Okay? Look at which photo is selected. It is the original photo that was originally selected. I always make the mistake, not always, but a lot of the times, I make the mistake and think that if I'm scrolling through a bunch of photos and I decide that this is the photo that I'm interested in, I would like to think that if I would click X, that the photo that I was last looking at would then be the one that's selected, because I opened up one photo and went to another photo and I exited out on that particular photo, this one over here. I would only think that this one would now be selected because it was the last one that I was looking at. But no, the last photo that you look at in the viewer is not the photo that's selected. This becomes a problem for me. Why? Because often I will be looking through a bunch of photos. And I'll be like, okay, that's the one that I want. That's it. All right, now let me go copy it. Okay, well, where is it? Where is it? I have so many photos that are almost exactly the same, and I can't remember which one it is. And so I honestly think that if you were viewing this photo last in the photo viewer and you exited out, I would honestly think that it should be this one that is selected, not this other one, because we're done with that. We started with this one, okay? But then we ended on this one. We should be now selected on this one. But we're not. We're now selected on this one. So this really upsets me and is very annoying. And I seriously think that this is my complaint about this. I think that this is a major problem. At least for me, it's very annoying. I think that's counterintuitive to think that no matter which one you were looking at, the one that's selected is always the one that you clicked on originally. I would think that you should have the one that's selected is the one that you were last looking at. As in, it's just like this. Look, what if I use the arrow keys? Look, I'm using the arrow key. Notice how when you use the arrow key, you get to scroll through the images? Right, look, we're looking at this one. I use the arrow key once, now we're over here. I use the arrow key again, now we're over here. So how come when we're looking at them in the full position, and I use the arrow key twice, that's like scrolling through the images, right? It's like scrolling through the images. But this one is not selected, even though I hit the arrow twice. Okay, I was on this one, I hit the arrow twice in the full mode, but then this one is selected. But how come now if I hit the arrow twice, this one is selected? If you're hitting the arrow twice, you should always be on this one. It shouldn't be back to that one just because you're in full mode. Anyway, I hate that option and I hate it very much. Now, I do understand that you can do this. You can look up here and look at the file name and simply say, okay, this is the one that I want. Okay, let's go to the file name. Let's write that down. I understand that you can do that, but a lot of times I'm just randomly going through a bunch of pictures and I'm like, okay, that's the one that I want. Let me go get it. And then I can't find it because the one that I was on last is not the one that is currently selected. The one that's currently selected was the original one that I started with. So I honestly think that it shouldn't be like this. I really think that this should be the one that's selected. So Microsoft, I am making a complaint video and I am requesting that that in future Windows versions it's like this. I don't even have Windows 8, so I don't know what that's like, but at least in Windows 7, I think that this needs to be the one that needs to be selected if you're scrolling through these damn things and you're going to the right by using the arrow keys. So anyway, fix it in the next update. Right now, damn it. Yeah, I'm a paying customer. Anyway, and it's illogical to have this one selected when you're looking at this one last. So there's my complaint.